tell me about the biggest challenges you see that you'll be encountering over the next 6 months to the actual end of this calendar year.
I think the biggest challenges are, well, we have a lot of challenges with staff in general, not in a bad way, but we're all so tired. So that means teachers, classified, custodians, bus drivers, superintendents, building leaders. We've really, through this pandemic, had to lead and show up so differently, as have our businesses, that it stretched our bandwidth. So I think the first couple months goals is rest and rejuvenation and recovery for people that have worked day and night. I mean, I literally have had my technology department in the first days of the pandemic working 24 hours. And so that accumulation of tiredness, which we're seeing in our business community as well, is what we really got to keep an eye on in the next couple months as we approach summer. The second thing is I've got to look to start a school. My goal is 5 days a week of in-person instruction, full court press, as I'm saying, help my people not be so tired, full court press to 5 days a week in-person instruction in the fall. And what that means is we have to influence the guidance to help us be there in a safe way, and then be sure we are staffed correctly in order to meet whatever the guidelines are, which we don't quite know what they are yet.
Ever changing.
So we've learned to be super flexible and pivot day and night. So that's our real goal for September. And then as we close out the year, I want us to figure out what new normal is. And we have some really big innovations as a school district we've learned. And we need to figure out what do those mean and how do we persist on the innovations that should last beyond COVID. Because it would also be really easy once we fall back into regular school to go back to the way we were. And there's lots of things that should change. We're doing lots of work around our school discipline processes and how are we restorative rather than exclusionary. How do we keep kids in school versus expelling them from school? All those processes coming on the heels of kids who have been in a global pandemic for a year as well. And how do you really care for them and care for them first before academics happen is always the way. As we prepare for the budget next year, we are trying to reallocate to be sure we have social workers in each of our high schools, to be sure our title middle schools have social workers, some additional counseling, so that we can really support the mental health and social emotional well-being of our kids.
Yeah, our educators, and I'm the product of two educators. Both my parents were retired teachers from the Salem-Keizer School District, are not asked to simply educate at all.
No.
And we are a wraparound service within the school district. Often, and not often, but I would suggest there are many students who walk in that the best hours of their day are spent right inside the Salem-Keizer School District. Thank you for your efforts on that. Christy, any ways that the business community, we will step up and have proven the weight and gold of the business community when we've needed a bond measure passed, when the district has asked for our support. Are there things and ways that the business community can better support the Salem-Keizer School District?
Well, I think right now, the best thing our businesses can do is focus on their business in a pandemic and to be really attentive to that, because thriving business community helps the school district. And so right now I would feel bad to ask for anything because I want our businesses to thrive. Being a business owner throughout my own personal life, mostly my husband's business, but we were in the restaurant business for 19 years, and last night we said, I don't know how they're doing it. So I guess that would be what I'd want for our businesses right now. You focus on you. If you have intersections into our career technical education programs, if you have ways you want to reach out and help, then please do. But the best thing we can have is a thriving community and thriving business community for our schools. We're doing really well with our bond projects. We don't have another bond coming up right now. If you're excited about our bond projects and you want to reach out, we'll show them to you. But again, really a strong focus on a thriving business community, I think, is the most important community mission right now. Thriving schools, thriving business, let's really work together to navigate the issues around homelessness in our community, because all of that will help us be thriving as well.
And very refreshing to hear something like that from the individual in charge of our school district. Businesses, there's a very clear recognition of the pains that you've been through. And here is one of our key regional leaders saying, focus on keeping your business in order, staying viable. And at this organization, our job is to help in service to make sure that occurs for you. Christy Perry doing wonderful things for young people in the Salem area and leading incredibly bright staff members to allow innovation to occur for the benefit of our young people. Christy Perry, thanks so much for your time today.
Thanks for having me.